you don't know anything that's going on, whoa, 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 whoa. And they'll just send me stuff like they'll just send me like Breitbart News and and like Dave Shapiro and or what's his name, Ben Shapiro and shit. Are we on? Are we good?
Yeah, but you can do your intro.
A ver. New setup. We back in the studio, man. All right, welcome back. The Degenerates. I don't know what episode this is because I haven't been counting, my life's been too fucking busy to figure out. But we're back with the original crew. Second original crew because Juliet was the first one. The original setup, the OG setup. We here because we're finally in the same place at the same time with all this camera equipment. So we're back. And thank you guys for listening. We hope that you guys have liked all of the previous episodes that have been super fun. I've got an episode coming up soon in the next couple of weeks with an attorney that is gonna lay out all of the things that all of us need to know about our rights here in this country and what we should and shouldn't be doing. And we're gonna lay out the crazy that's happening in our political system and how there are any safeguards, if there are any. I mean, we're going to get through it. We're going to go through some bullshit. Yeah, but then we're also going to go through like scenarios and what people should know about whenever they're out here working and have to deal with masked men, the Gestapo. You know,
that's what. Yeah.
So be on the lookout for that because that's really exciting. It's happening in a couple of weeks. Me and Kate is her name. She's got a law firm here in Austin, Texas, and she's a real big advocate for raising awareness. So we hope that at the very least you have a resource that you can go to, and we hope that on our end we make a friend that we can talk to. I'd like to do it. To be honest, I'd like to do it pretty frequently to where like we have like a segment of the pod where it's like legal. I was gonna say legal hour, but like legal advice. I shouldn't say that, right?
No, I don't think
we're
you
not
can.
here to give you legal advice.
I don't think you can give legal advice like that.
I don't have a law degree. I can give you legal advice, but it's not gonna be what you want. It's like
it might not be what you need.
Can't put my name down because I'm gonna get you. They're gonna try to find me.
They gonna disbar you before you even start, dog.
Shit, bar you from the bar.
Bar you from the bar.
Bar you from the bar, bro. But yeah. I hope that we get her on as a frequent guest is the point that I'm making. Yeah. But you want to start off with politics today?
Well, yeah. Well, because it's
Gavin Newsom been like making you happy. Can we give a shout out to this girl? Let's figure out who this girl is because
I didn't know it was a girl, a woman that was managing his
oh, she killing it, bro.
His social media. It's hilarious.
Camilo Zapata, 29 years old.
It's funny. It's funny because it is a direct. Is that? Ooh, I love that for her. Where's she from?
She's from California. Oh, she's in charge.
I don't know. I was just wondering because she had a tejana on, but I mean, that might not be a tejana.
Californians can be cowboys too.
I know that, pero son diferentes.
Them outlaws showed up in California and couldn't go further and couldn't keep going. They would have kept going if you wanted to. That's true.
The
gold rush miners are from California.
Well, no shit.
Just letting you know. You can't have gold rush mining without outlaws, and you can't have outlaws without cowboys.
Really?
Yeah.
Why? What? Why? I'm gonna sound stupid, aren't I?
Have you not?
I'm about to sound stupid.
You haven't seen any of the cowboy outlaw movies? Any spaghetti western out there?
I've seen.
You ain't seen Shanghai Noon?
Well, yeah, but what do the outlaws have to do with coal mining?
Because there's gold. What do you think outlaws were trying to steal? You think they were trying to steal people's mortgages?
I figured they was trying to steal gold from the people that already got the gold. But what's got to do with the gold?
How you get the gold?
I get it. But where do they have... I know that there is a convergence or their paths cross post-gold like being acquired.
Yeah, at the bank. That's what they...
Okay, yeah, but I thought you meant like the outlaws were the ones that ended up going and being the coal miners. I was I really doubt that was going to be the case.
There's a correlation. I'm just saying where there's weed, there's crime.
Yeah, there's a parallel.
Or there's fast food restaurants. You see what I'm saying? Like Jack in the Box don't have the menu that they got if they don't know their audience.
Yeah, if they don't know. Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Munchies box all day.
Munchies box. You can't name something the Munchies box and not know who's going
and
to
not
your
know
shop
that you're gonna have
at 2 a.m.
motherfuckers there at 2 in the morning.
Even in Texas, where it's still not
1000%,
legal, which is a problem, by the way. HB whatever bill that passed that y'all kept on rejecting. Right now we're dealing with the redistricting shit, which we on your ass. But also right before that, don't act like you ain't try to put these hemp workers out of business. And
what was the bill?
I forgot what it was called. Our other frequent guest, Sean, knows all about that because she's actually spearheading a lot the Austin movement here, and she's like in the Capitol like once a week, trying to like fight for this bill.
You know what? That's actually something that I did not. It did not necessarily like register in my brain that you're literally in the state capitol. And
these motherfuckers are around here all the time.
Motherfuckers be going a little Capitol Hill situation out here. Obviously,
Austin is the most like low key. See, I don't even know if that's the right terminology because Austin is also like bougie. Like people are here are like fake and shit. But Austin is also like Austin is also like low key in the sense that like you might be walking around downtown and a whole politician just be popping up, like Ted Cruz, like people just be showing up to the state capitol, and you might also be like popping up, and you'll see famous people because there's hella actors that live in Lakeway. And like in Lake, like around Lake Travis, Lake Austin, there's hella famous people that live around here. Pedro Pascal has a house down the street from.
Pedro Pascal, daddy.
Yeah, he has a house over there in Lakeway. One of my clients,
she know him?
One of my clients has a house. They live like 2 doors down from him.
What kind of client?
It's a video client.
You go to that.
I don't go to their house.
Okay.
I don't go to their house.
You go to that estate.
What you think I am? I'm not doing house calls.
And you know.
Nah, but she just told me because we're working together a whole bunch of commercials and shit, and she's like, oh yeah, Pedro lives like down the street.
No way,
and mind you, whenever
people should not know that I know this information.
Whenever rich people say so and so lives down the street, what they really mean is like a 2 to 3, 4 minute drive, but down the street for them means like down the street.
They got hella acres.
Yeah.
They got hella you know, front yard and shit.
But they live near each other. Is what I'm saying. Joe Rogan like down the street here right now too.
I don't give a fuck about Joe Rogan.
Yeah, nobody gives a fuck about Joe Rogan. He's struggling with the publicity, which also, man, I'm gonna do like reaction videos eventually because I finally got this back. I got this setup back. Yeah. But I was like, he's really like now turning his back on Trump, and I'm like, motherfucker, don't act like you didn't know this was gonna happen whenever you were asking your audience to vote for this shit. Act like that $200 million check ain't
cleared already.
Right. Ain't tell you to start spreading this information I ever met in my ass.
Please. Ain't no motherfucking way that.
What did we get? We always get on these tangents. Before the gold.
I didn't know that the account was run by a woman, and that makes total sense because
she's killing it.
Because it takes
and men wouldn't be able to do that.
No, men would never be able to do that.
I handle all our accounts. We barely get anything done. Like, so I can concur.
Yeah, no, but like, cause you could tell that there is this understanding that like what she is saying is like it is true, a lot of the stuff that she's saying on there, and the way that she's saying it in a way to mock whoever the fuck is running the other accounts. She does it.
She throws a little salsa in there?
People motherfuckers can't say, don't nobody can come out here and tell this bitch or Gavin Newsom or whoever the fuck is giving them the okay to do this shit and be like, oh, that's so unprofessional that you're doing that. It's like, bitch, go look at your motherfucking president. Get the fuck out my face. Go.
Hey, get your boy.
Get your boy before you start talking about my boy.
Yo, so, hey, by the way, we should have started celebrating Alligator Alcatraz. No more.
Really? What the fuck happened?
Yeah, bro, they shutting that shit down. No more for now.
Did it not open? It didn't even open.
They might call it a comeback, but
it opened. I didn't even know it opened.
It's not even. It goes. And from what I understand, it was a Native American, like a coalition group, whatever, that like helped make sure that got cut.
Those are the original paisas, dude.
Hey, bro.
They got it. They're holding it down.
Also, shout out. I mean, like, also,
they came all right back through that Trail of Tears and said, "We coming right back for you, dog."
Hey, they say, remember Andrew Jackson?
Yeah.
No more alligator Alcatraz. Here's some blankets. they pull up with blankets.
Yeah. I mean, that's on some that's on some unity shit.
Also, Mexicans are also Native Americans. I know. I hope that people you understand that. Can be.
Yeah. Well, okay. Okay.
Native to the Americas.
I was about to say if what people are saying, because I know people have a problem with using the word Native American to describe indigenous peoples of the Americas.
Why do they have a problem with that?
I mean, I've just seen like talks where people are like, "Don't call me a Native American," or just being like, "Oh, Native American is also like the equivalent of people being called like Latinos," where they're like, "Well, we were colonized and like this was the
oh, they wanted to say the real
product,
name.
yeah, like we were the product of this."
So what's the right term?
Colonization.
Because like we're technically mestizos.
I would believe that if I'm not mistaken, something that would be slightly more either politically and culturally correct would be just to call indigenous peoples.
Got it.
Just for that, like,
shit, I'm down with
awareness of like we are indigenous to the land.
Because like we're
not necessarily we're not native to America. This was not America before you got here. Know what I'm saying?
Oh, bars. See, I didn't even think about it that way.
It wasn't America
but
beforehand.
Also bars though.
That's
bars. We're technically Hispanic, Latino, and mestizos.
Yes, we are.
Right?
Mm-hmm. But
I don't know which one I like more.
I don't know because I've had this like
I'm down with all of them.
Recently,
although I've never been called mestizo ever in my life, but technically that's what.
Yeah.
But
because you have to understand that mestizo carried a very negative.
Did it?
Well, yeah, bruh. It's like a mulatto. Like it's mestizos and mulattos are supposed to be like the bastard sons of the colonizers, the ones that they don't want to acknowledge.
We have more colonizer blood than the colonizers.
Because of the fact that when we were colonized, there was a resistance to being killed off, and two, I don't even know if the motherfuckers had the balls to be able to actually kill everybody in Mexico. Because how, dog?
How
you gonna kill all of them?
How, Sway?
Like, I mean, as much as your diseases came in through and rampant through the colonies and stuff.
Dirty ass Spaniards.
Diseases is fuck. Que no se bañaban. La gente no se bañaba. They didn't shower. They didn't know what hygiene was. Motherfuckers was chilling in streets full of shit. That's why they got low rap. So no, it's not. It's a fact. It's a fact.
At some point, the sewer system had to get invented. But I'm just saying, like, how long after the sewer system gets invented does that stay with you? Like,
for real,
y'all shit. You know what I mean? How long did it? Because Europe, like France, been having public sewer system, and we still in Texas, we still call them like we still say this thing. So you know what I mean?
Yeah,
and Paris is like the fashion capital of the world. So like
but it's dusty because
you know what I mean? Like Milan is the fashion capital. Bruh, and we still like
Paris is supposed to be like the most romantic city in the world. Blah, blah, blah.
Still dirty,
but it is like native Parisians and native like French folk be like, bruh, y'all really romanticizing the fuck out of this ghetto ass city, because one, it's like graffiti everywhere, motherfucker, like
bars. That's actually kind of romantic for me.
It is though, for somebody who likes subcultures of cities, like big underground cultures like that. I think it's kind of dope. It's like it's like the car subculture in Tokyo.
Correct.
That is considered like very unsightly, that nobody wants to know about it. And like all the like prime and prestigious people be like, no. But for bitches like me, I'd be like,
yo, bro, we pull up to Japan, we go to the Chicano culture immediately.
We
go to the Chicano culture immediately.
I'll pull up with a braids and a bandana and just be like, ¿qué onda, paisa?
Yeah, like, we're good. We about to pull up. We about to pull up.
You know where else they really like that?
I've never worn a flannel shirt with only the top. I've never worn Dickies in my life that wasn't for school. ever in my life. But if I go to Japan, I will wear it.
You're pulling out the fit?
I will wear it just so that I could kick it with the homies over there, bro. And you know what? And we can have a whole episode over there if we want to. Yo, Japan, fly us out. But like also, like we could have a whole conversation about cultural appropriation, and I could be on the wrong side of that conversation because I fucks with them heavy. I fucks with them heavy, bro. And like, Filipinos too. Filipinos fuck with Mexicans hard, and I fuck with Filipinos hard, bro.
And the Vietnamese. So there's
all of them.
There's this guy. Oh, man, what's his name? Some Tok, something like that. I don't know.
Some of my favorite.
He be like a full blown. Tiene la virgencita put on his like on the barbershop. And they something about you, baby. So all the songs. Yes, that's the one song that they use for their video every single time.
That's fucking amazing.
That's all you hear. And I'm just like, yeah, because I mean,
fucks with them heavy though.
Me personally, when I remember, okay, because we lived in Houston growing up, being like super ghetto as Second Ward.
Still ghetto.
Unfortunately, the gentrification is running rampant.
No, I'm saying I'm still ghetto.
Well, yeah, but the huh?
You just got robbed?
Not robbed.
How you didn't tell me you got robbed?
Somebody just opened my car door and took my wallet from in there.
Where? At the house?
Yeah.
Bitch, you gotta say something. We still know people in the hood. We still could call somebody like, "Yo, what's the problem?"
It's Second Word, bro. What do you? I mean, my thought process is one. I'm the dumbass for leaving my wallet in the car because to be for real, like if you're a real like Houstonian that's used to living in the hood, you know, first things first, you don't even lock your car at the.
That's true.
You don't lock your car. Why? Because you don't want broken windows.
Correct.
Right. So. Thought process, right? And then, but my dumbass just forgot. I left it in there, and motherfuckers ran with it. The last time I got robbed, little did they know though, I'm a broke bitch, and so decline every time they try doing shit. Decline as fuck, and I was just like, man, I woke up at 6 a.m. and I was just like, this motherfucker's really trying it, dog. Damn. Just because you saw that I had
Wendy's, you pull up to the Wendy's like. I'm gonna watch you get declined because I've never been on the other side of this fence. I've always had to be the one trying to swipe that card,
dog. Yeah, them motherfuckers was really trying it. I was like, bro, first of all, ¿de dónde? ¿De dónde crees que si aquí estoy en esta casita fodonga? Like, you really think that that's gonna be the case? Like, just because you see I got credit cards up in there don't mean that you can use them, dog. I can't use them, dog. Like, we broke out here.
Go back to the clip that we posted a long time ago about how we don't like giving homeless people money because that clip went viral too of us being like, bitch, I'm in debt.
I owe institutions.
I owe institutions. They coming for that shit, and you got firsthand.
Me and my man was talking about that not that long ago.
Experience with my card.
That's fun. The first thing Experian gonna do is be, ma'am, something wrong with your account.
Collections gonna call you now since you stole it.
As fuck. They ain't got nothing in there. I was all like, bro, I mean, okay, cool. And Alex was like, you're not going to file a police report for what, dog?
For what? So they can come here 2 days later?
So they can come and be like, oh, you got your stuff stolen?
Hey, but I hooked you up, though, because one of my friends had the video of the 2 guys.
Yeah, bro. You saw them up in there being, trifling.
Because my friend his parents lives right in front of.
That's why y'all had to tell me so you could send me the video and you could call somebody. Because the last time I got shit stolen from that duplex, I got some of that shit back. And I got my lick back.
Did you? Mm-hmm. Did you? You got your stuff back?
I got some of it back. Some of it was already been sold twice, 3 times over. You gotta be quick, dog, because 2 days later it might already exchanged hands 2 to 3 times.
That shit was straight up already past like four pawn.
I got 3 or 4 pawn shops.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
I'll send you the video after this.
Yeah, that shit was funny. They tried my man's car first because I think they had like one of those like Bluetooth key fob things that kind of open cars, and then they tried it, and then the other dumbass on there was like, let me just try the other car right here, and they did.
Hispanic guys?
I don't know. They was wearing hoods and they was wearing backpacks, so I don't know what the fuck they were.
Hoods and backpacks. White people.
I mean,
hey, you said gentrification, so I'm just trying to.
Yeah, dog. It's hella gentrifiers struggling
there. Too. Property taxes affecting all of us.
Yeah, in Texas, yeah. Mm-hmm. It's the only one.
Although I've been looking into property taxes in general, real talk, and they're trying to abolish property tax. And this is real old of me to say, but I'm dead serious. But like Texas is trying to abolish property tax, and Florida's trying to abolish property tax, and you have to vote for the motherfuckers that do not want to abolish property tax. Real talk. Because property taxes right now help out old people more than they help out young people.
Yeah,
like
for sure.
we live in a socialist society for old people right now.
Yeah.
And the people that are bearing the brunt of it are young people.
Yeah.
Because we can't afford shit.
Yeah.
So we need property. Fuck that. We need everybody to pay their fucking to pay their property taxes.
What are they trying to do? They're trying
to make it to no property tax after a certain age. Because like now you get to like fucking
after a certain age.
Yeah, fuck all that.
Fuck all that and the third because
I have to pay for Social Security.
Because
FICA takes off from my check for Social Security that I might not even get. I might die because I might get run over by one of these Austinites. With these fucking loose ass fucking tech bros out here, right? I might get run over by one of these tech bros and their Waymos. I might not even get run over by a real person out here. I might get run over by a Waymo that fucking that gets loose from the algorithm, and I still have to. Don't laugh. I'm trying to make a point about Social Security, and I still have to pay Social Security, and they have to benefit from that. So what? They should continue paying property taxes. Fuck them. They ruined the economy. I ain't forget about that shit.
They really did.
And y'all got bailed out.
As fuck. My thing is like, why would you stop paying? Why would you stop old people from paying property taxes when they're the ones that actually don't owe anything on their house?
And also, you want to know what? Fucking,
I got debt to pay to the bank, and I still got to pay my property taxes. You out your goddamn mind? Let the motherfucker that already own that 1 acre lot. The fuck?
And you know what? Most of the property, like most of the Social Security that we pay for, goes to
old people.
Old people, but it goes to their fucking health, like their health insurance.
Yeah,
like,
Medicaid,
for
Medicare.
not even that. Like it goes directly to pay for their fucking like their dumbass treatments for being old. And the fact that they didn't take care of themselves, they've been living off of burgers for their entire life. Yeah,
I can't say much about that, but yeah.
Although we just ranked the top burgers in our life,
yes,
an hour ago.
Yes, we did.
It was an interesting conversation. It's a very, very, very enlightening to see how much different people are in relation to their food.
Are you somebody who like? When it comes down to your food experience, are you somebody who takes it in as a whole? Like what? How? Wait, listen.
Got it.
And wait till I say something. And wait till I explain it to you. Okay. Well, okay. Well, the food as a whole, experience as a whole, that being the way the food tastes, the way it's presented to you, the ambiance that you're in, right? Whether it's like a nice low lit room, whether it's loud as fucking, you got like waiters out here knocking on your backs and shit. You know, like, do you take that all in as a whole? As a whole?
Yeah, whether there's hoes there, whether there's not hoes there, it matters.
It matters.
It matters. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. With that being said, like
strip club food is good.
I don't know. I've never had it, but
the steak nights, steak nights at the strip joint, but only in Houston and Atlanta. Fuck all y'all the raggedy ass cities and y'all strip clubs.
Not Vegas?
Only in Houston and Atlanta. Nah, because Vegas is 24 hours, so they hardly ever have.
They don't have food?
They hardly ever have food. They can have food from a certain time, but like the cooking work at 24 hours. Then bitches be working 24 hours though.
I guess so. I don't know. But
you know what I mean?
Contéstame.
Yes. The entire experience matters, but like in context. So like I'm not saying
but
that.
But like if two out of the three things are bad, are you gonna be like, man, the food sucks?
Nah, but bad is relative. Like, so this is what I mean. Like, context matters.
Yeah.
So like if I'm going to a mom and pop shop, and the service is not like the best service of my life, I'm not necessarily as pissed off. Like, there's certain places where, like, the service could be a little bit jaded.
Yeah.
Where the service could be a little bit like, hey, here, get out of the way because there's more people coming. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'm cool with that. Because, like, there's a certain level of grit that came with it. Like, we outside. Like, if you go to Papa Burger in downtown Houston and you're underneath the bridge and, like, and if homegirl's a little mean to me, you know what I mean? If she's, you know... I'm like, okay, cool. Like, but everybody in there sweating, and I know the bacon gonna be greasy.
If you're going to Aguascalientes and you're trying to get your gorditas, you're gonna be like, yeah, girl, fast, please, dámelo,
you know what I mean?
rápido.
So like, there's certain things that I forgive, but like, if I'm paying $250, $300 for the meal, and it's me and a date, and the service is horrible, I might wig out. I'm not gonna write a review. That's crazy. I'm not spending more time than I need to think about that food. But I will say something in the moment. I mean, let me talk to your manager real quick.
Really?
Hmm?
You would do that?
Oh, hell yeah. Be like, hey, I just want to let you know. We love the food. This was good, but like the service was like not good. And
I feel like that's kudos points for you as a man in the dating world.
For real?
Yes.
But I won't do it in front of her though.
Why not?
Because I don't want to seem like this when I'm on a date. Like I might do it well, first of all, if I'm on a date, I'm paying for it like
like first time date, not like if you're in a relationship.
Yeah, no, if I'm in a relationship, she might hear. She might be, but if I'm on a date for the first time, first of all, she won't even see me pay the shit. I'll give my card up front. And then they'll just like come in and then I would like, you know, she won't ever see me give the card. If it's a legit first, second kind of date and it's like a fancy date.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Porque I like it. Tell them off. Yeah, I'm listening. I'm watch. Voy a quedar aquí.
How you defend that steak is how you defend me.
It's how you defend me and my honor. Yes, as fuck. I like that. And I think. But I also,
but isn't there something also kind of like? I think it could be. I think I get that. There could be something attractive about that, but there could also, in my opinion, be something attractive about the fact that like it happened, and then like say you're walking out. And somebody's like, hey, you know, like somebody comes out and is like, you know, Mr. Jimenez, sorry for what for what you mentioned, this and that. But like, no, it's not a big deal. And like, she realizes that you handled it offside.
I don't know what kind of bitches you be hanging out with, but I would have never realized that. If a motherfucker did that, I'd been like,
you smart. You could realize it.
No, if I was at a date and I was like talking and I was like doing a thing or whatever, para empezar,
I'll give you an example. I went downtown. I don't know. I forgot when, but I had booked. There's like a jazz club here, like on it's underground, and I booked a show. Like I booked to go see a show with a date that I had, and we ended up going, and then we decided to leave, right? And the show hadn't even started. We just were decided like, yeah, like let's go somewhere else instead. Because like, no, we liked the vibe, but we wanted to keep talking, and we know that once the show started, we had to like focus on the thing or whatever, right? And then as it might not relate completely, but like as somebody was coming down, this old man fell, like slipped or something, and like nobody from the establishment like went to help him. So I got up and I helped him, right? And kind of came back down, sat down. People were like, "Oh, thank you," blah, this and that, right? The date I was with went to the bathroom, and I went up to like the manager was just passing by. It's not like I went and go complain. Like the manager was passing by, and I was like, "Hey, by the way, like that dude, you go check on that guy, cause he's there, but he fell right here, and like none of your employees like went to check if he's been good. I'm the one that went and picked him up. I'm the one. He thought that I worked here, so I just needed to let you know, like blah 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 blah, right?" So all of that happened or whatever, bro. And like, it's not that I was complaining, but I was like, yo, your employees should do something about this, right? Like, you can't just like, and homegirl was like, the door service girl was right there at the door watching homeboy fall. I'm like, bitch, do something. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just like, yeah, like do something. Like, no, like, yeah. I know it's not in your job description, but this is human decency, you know?
Of course.
And I got up, left the place, went to go help the dude. Like, it took a full, like, maybe 20 seconds for me to get there. And there's been like 3 or 4 employees that watched this whole thing happen. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, anyway, I said that. My date comes back. She doesn't even know I talk about him, right? And we just started to leave, and we weren't leaving because we were dissatisfied with the service. We were leaving because we wanted to keep talking. Yeah. But as I told the girl, like, hey, I think we're gonna leave. Don't worry about it. You guys don't have to, do anything. Blah blah blah. The manager comes back up and he goes, hey, based on what you said earlier, I talked to my staff about. Thank you for letting me know blah blah this and that. And we're gonna comp your tickets. You guys can feel free to come back to any show that you want. Just we have your reservation. We're gonna send you back your money, and then we'll like not only will we send you back your money, but then you'll be able to come to any show that you want on us.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, thank you. You didn't have to do that, but like, thank you.
Yeah.
And like when we left, she was like, what did you say to them? I was like, oh, no, I was just, telling them about how the guy fell or whatever, right? But she didn't have to know that. The fact that she didn't have to see me do that as me complaining made her be like, oh, like he did this on his own on the side. And it wasn't like, you know what I'm saying?
Yes, yeah, I get that.
And for her, like she actually told me at the end of the night, she was like, that was one of the big highlights for me because I don't like showboaty men. I don't like men that try to get your attention on some bullshit like that and like really impress me.
Okay, maybe this is just a me thing, but me personally, it is really obvious when people are doing it genuinely versus like to be showboaty. Like you could tell from the vibes of the person. Isn't
there something showboaty in general about doing it loudly?
Yo estoy loca, no sé, I want that. That's what I want. I know, I get it. But
okay, answer me this though. Would you be if your man's right now did that knowing that you've been in a relationship with him and you saw him do that, that's a different connotation.
That's what I'm saying.
Than if it was a first date.
That's what I'm saying.
On a first date, you might want, hey, do this low key though, because like we don't really know each other like that. And then afterwards, be like, "That's my man's. Look at him wrecking shop." You know what I mean?
Well, I mean,
that's different.
Because this my thing. My thing is
get him, baby. Get him. Tell him what I said about the hash browns. Tell him what I said. Somebody got to do it.
Well, my thing is like because it's happened between me and my man's where I might be real like. Assertive in a lot of different situations, but when it comes down to handling myself out in like public spaces, when it comes down like food and whatnot, establishments like that, he's the one that be going over there and telling them like, "Hey, yo, you messed up her food. Go make it again or something."
Somebody got to do it.
And so,
I turned into Kendrick. And so, somebody got to do it.
So to me, me personally, because of the type of man that I was looking for, that's what I wouldn't have cared. Like I would have been like, "Oh, okay." So he know how to put his foot down. Okay, because that's what I need though. Because but they are people who don't need nor want that. And so there are people out there, I think you know some people that would be like, why are you acting like that? Like you're being too much or whatever. Be like, look, girl, let yourself be taken care of. First of all. Just a little bit.
Just a little
No te va a doler nada, bro. It's just it's gonna be fine.
Yeah.
That's something to me that I had to learn.
Self-care.
Well, yeah, I think you have to learn to a certain extent how to allow yourself to have that little bit of fragileness around a person that you potentially want to be with. Because you can't be hard all the time. That's not the point. The point is if you want to be in a relationship with somebody, then you got to be a little soft in those instances.
Do you feel the same way with like if you're at a bar, your man's goes to the bathroom. I'm gonna paint the picture. You're at the bar. Your man's goes to the bathroom. Another man comes up. Didn't see your man's with you. Starts trying to holler at you. Say, hey, let me holler at you for a second. Blah, 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 blah. Does the whole Houston thing, right? What's up with me and you? You know?
What's up with me and you, girl?
What's up with me and you? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Starts acting real Houston on you.
Yeah.
Right? Playa. And then, do you want your mans to come up and be like, hey, homeboy, like, what you doing? And then like put his foot down in that sense? Or if he does that, is that real insecure behavior?
Me personally,
I'm talking to you. I'm asking you. I'm not asking you to speak on behalf of all the women. I'm asking about you.
On behalf of me, yeah.
Damn.
Stand your ground. Like as fuck. Like because this the thing. One is two things are gonna happen depending on my mood. I'd be the one that tells the motherfucker, first of all, why you talking to me like that? I don't know you like that. Go 2 steps back.
Nothing's up with me and you.
Exactly.
Distance is up with me and you.
Exactly.
Social distance is 6 feet.
Okay, get back, give me 50 feet.
But that's also a badass response. If I was a guy and I saw my girl do that, I'm going to walk back like... Fucking, I'm gonna walk back. I'm gonna walk back, tippy toes almost. I'm gonna walk back like, yeah,
toes
boy,
down on my girl.
And listen to that, baby. Lucky she didn't alley oop it to me. I'm gonna walk back like that, and I'm gonna look at him the whole night too, cause she ain't gonna peep him after that, cause her mind's somewhere else. But I'm gonna purposely get the girliest drink, some apple teeny or something, and I'm
a green little fruity drink,
an espresso martini, and just be like. Oh wait, hold up. Hey,
Just be like, okay.
hey, Ray, what's good?
I mean, yeah,
'Cause
depending on
that's
my
a flex for me. Like she can handle herself. She don't need me for that. But
Yeah.
also, if you don't listen though, if she told you 6 feet
and you ain't listening.
and you get closer, I'm gonna walk in and I'm gonna be like, yo, bro, I heard her say 6 feet because that's what she told me. Like 6 months ago, whenever I was persistent, that's what she told me. She told me that yesterday at the house because she was pissed because she hadn't eaten yet. So I know when she says 6 feet, she means it, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, though. But my thing is, this maybe not a good thing for him, but I would 1000%. I want to see the violence.
The violence?
Yeah. Fight for me.
Dog, that's not even what I asked. I didn't ask, do you want him to fight somebody? I said, do you want him to step in and just be like,
See,
yo, bro, like that.
But like,
I didn't ask him to.
Imagine, right?
She
Put
said,
yourself.
The moment it happens, UFC, 100. What are they on right now? 177 or whatever. 305. That's how much I don't listen. That's how much I don't watch men fight each other.
Like 300. We watched 300 not that long ago. So yeah.
Yeah, I don't be watching men fight each other though. That's not.
Bro, it's so gay.
It's good.
It's so gay. Like, I mean, okay, so I have like one of my.
Do you like watching them or does she just like watching? Oh damn.
No, he likes watching them.
You like watching them? Okay, see, not me, bro. I watch women fight each other. There is women fight each other. There's nothing that makes me happier than watching women beat the shit out of each other.
Yeah, they do fight.
Men though, I'm like, guys, come on, we're past this. We were gladiators. We were slaves. They made movies about us. Go. Our glory days are done. These bitches ain't fight each other in a minute though.
I like it. I like
These bitches used to wear the dresses that went up to here. Let them hoes fight. Let them hoes go at it.
And they are jacked, bro.
Yeah, good for them. They need to get your protein up, girls. Let's go.
That's fuck.
WNBA making numbers now.
Yeah.
Somebody better fight.
Yeah, bro. Have you seen? Have you seen this clip?
This
clip. Okay, you know Caitlin Clark, right? And her teammates, right?
Boss.
So Caitlin Clark.
I actually don't know that much about her, but I know who she is.
Yeah. So she was like, you know, she's playing or whatever. And there's this one team. I don't remember who it was. That was like they were playing.
What are you showing me? Is that a girl? Damn.
Yeah, again, all the way opened up.
Whoa, you're gonna have to send me that so I can overlay it. But actually, first of all, if women are fighting like that, it's game over, guys. We're not fighting.
No, they
leave her alone.
We've talked about it while we were watching the UFC. I'm like, bro, if a girl like that, like that, you know, he was a UFC fighter, would you be down for it? They're like, nah, dog, get away from me.
And y'all thought y'all could handle the gorilla? Like what?
You can't even handle the one UFC girl.
This one girl cracked her head open. Is that homegirl? What's her name?
Rousey, isn't it?
That's Rowdy. That's Rousey. Ronda.
That's Ronda Rousey.
Ronda's such an old woman name.
Ronda. It's not what you expect from a white woman.
Man, she did that? Oh.
No. But that was a different lady.
Shit, bro.
Nah, but for real though.
I'm not. Stop fighting these women.
I do want to see violence though.
Women know about protein now.
1,000%.
It's game over, dog. We need to stop.
1,000%.
Peace and love and unity. Listen to the Beatles.
Aléjate de mí, por favor.
Don't around me, bro. I'll pull up the lawsuit real quick. I gain custody.
Nah, but I would.
We don't even have kids.
I would.
I'll get custody of something.
If my man, if we was out here, going back to the original question, if we were if we were outside and we was doing that, and a person thought it wild enough to come up to me with my resting bitch ass face, and you really thought you was gonna get somewhere with that, fine, cool, whatever. But if like for instance, I don't know the exact situation in which I would be like, do it, fight it, right? But
you'd have to give the go ahead. He'd look back like Clooney, like Clooney on Ocean's 11, just.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, she gave me permission.
My man's a tank, so I don't know. Like,
I wouldn't fight nobody for no bitch. Even if she told me, like, bitch, I don't know what he can do. I don't know him. I've never seen him before in my life. The last time I fought was in jail. I can't fight, and it was because he had a needle on him. I was like, I don't know what he brought into the jail. If he could sneak that through the jail, obviously the cops couldn't handle that shit. What makes you think I can handle it?
Yeah.
Actually, that's not the last time I fought. But I'm not fighting nobody for nobody. I don't know what people have these days. I don't know anything.
That's it. Yes, I get that. But like,
I don't
know.
I don't even want to be like all texting and be like, oh, but I have like my concealed carry permit or something like that. Because you never know
you don't need
whether another dude also has one too. And now we outside, we both holding guns, and I don't want to wait. Bullets are and bullets are expensive.
We both outside.
We're both
Just like,
I'm gonna be outside like, did your girl tell you to come out here? And he's gonna be like, yeah, did your girl tell you to come out here? But, bro, put it away, dog. Let's go get a beer. These bitches is crazy. Let them fight each other, because look at what these girls are doing to each other now.
For real,
babe, you do it.
you fight. You fight him. You fight his girl.
Although I wouldn't. If I were you, I don't know. I know this is a stereotype, but I wouldn't fight Latinas because they got razors. I remember in school they used to have razors. They used to pack razors under their titties and shit.
Mm-hmm. I usually keep an knife on me. I was actually talking about that with, because I went to the Galleria recently, right? And my coworker was all like, "Oh, you know, Galleria, the underground,
the
parking, whatever."
Yeah.
They'd be like, "Oh, be careful." And I'm like, "Girl, if you think I'm gonna have something strapped on me, you really out here out your damn mind. Because the way I'm out here gonna be on you, any minute." That was the danger. Okay, so my man's got me a gun for my birthday, right?
A small one. Mediums.
Well, I mean, it's not as it's decent. It's heavy.
Damn.
It's heavy.
Yeah.
And I wanted a heavy one.
Damn, she over there with the shake weight trying to get her weight up. trying to get my weight up. I need to get my dominant arm because I fucking around, I can only shoot twice before the fucking recoil. Like all of a sudden, my forearm hurts. And
my wrist hurts.
Can't even shoot the bad guy right. Can't even, bro. You got about 2 shots before you could take over this situation.
Yeah, no. But I got one, and I was just like, bro. Okay, so. My thought process is I only take it somewhere where I know I'm going to need it. The laundromat, for instance. Because it's in the hood. Mm-hmm. Motherfuckers be walking up in there and just being loud as fuck. And I'm like, I don't know what your intentions are. And if I'm here alone, I just need a little something to make me feel comfortable.
I'm trying to think of the places that I would think.
You know where I don't keep it, though? And where I don't like to keep it is in my car.
Yeah, because your ass got her shit stolen anyway. You about to get your gun stolen.
Not just that, but I have a bit of road rage, and I fear the day that I am just a little too like hangry or something, and then I do just pull up onto somebody.
Well, I'm about to catch you on one of those Instagrams.
Real serious.
One of those Instagrams of people crashing out.
As fuck.
Is it like a regular color, or is it like some weird ass girly color?
No, it's black.
Oh, good for you.
That's what I wanted. I wanted one. But you know what? There's this bigger one that I really want. Is this big ass hoe. And I want it because my thought process too is if somebody is dumb enough to try and come at me and I don't want to necessarily shoot them, because what if I kill you? I don't really want to go through that, right? That's too much on my mind. But right? You know what I want to do, would be able to do is with it. Te va a pegar. Hit you with it on the head or something.
You wanted a light
pistol whip a motherfucker.
So you wanted a gun so you could hit him like a hammer instead of just buying a hammer.
Yeah, you gotta. The thing is with the hammer is you gotta hold it from the handle, and the hammer is up here. So if it's like that, it's like right. There's too much distance between the person.
I'm trying to visualize.
There's too much distance between the gun, the hammer, right? Is the length of it. Somebody grab the hammer from the middle. Cause my arms aren't that long. I'm done for. I'm not gonna be able to use it. Pero si está aquí close to me, right? It's up here. Just on my fucker.
What if you hit somebody and it falls out of your hand?
That'd be very unfortunate if that was the case.
You already laughed at the shake weight idea, so you're not getting your weight up for your forearm. So I tried to help you out, but y'all laugh like it's not.
Recoil isn't that bad though.
No, I'm not saying that you slap somebody with a recoil. I'm saying that you slap somebody and like for some reason, what if they got a big nose and you hit somebody and the nose got in the way and now you just.
I don't know, pero at the very least lo ataranto. That's enough.
I can't think of where I would want to have my gun.
In public?
For the record, you see me in public, I don't got a gun. I don't need that kind of attention. Cops don't need to know that
you really don't need that kind of attention.
Yeah, I don't need that kind of I'm brown.
Yeah.
And
that's enough.
Yeah, that's enough, bro. But in general, in theory,
I'm a small, petite woman. They really don't think that I would need that.
Where do I want my gun the most? And like where do I feel the most unsafe? And I gotta tell you, it's around cops. I feel like, which is not the right place to have a gun. So I don't know. Because like I go to the hood, I don't feel unsafe. I just feel like you. Like whenever bad things happen to you in the hood, for me, it doesn't register as some tragedy. It registers as like if somebody stole my shoes once from my house at the same place. Like somebody stole my shoes and a couple of like stuff that I had, right? Even whenever there's somebody actually went into my house and grabbed a whole bunch of my shit and sold it, I'm like, oh, I should have known better. Somebody got a good lick out today. Somebody walking around today with a good 2, 3, 4 grand in their pocket, and they got a good lick, right? If had I been 12, 13 years old in a different life, I'd have been looking for a good lick for the day. And I'd have been walking out for the whole week like, yo, bro, it's lit. We got one. You know what I mean? So like I understand that thought process. So whenever it happened to me, yeah, it sucked. And yeah, like my instinct was also like, I got to find these dudes to try to figure out how I could salvage whatever I could salvage. But at the same time, I was also like, this is on me because I should have known better.
You say that, yet I know for a fact verídico that you saw a motherfucker steal your bag from your car at work with your camera on it, and you beat the shit out of that person to get it back.
Yeah.
So I really don't. So
you don't have to bring that up. That's the whole crime that you just brought up. I didn't beat nobody up. That's a legend.
Hey, they walked away. It's all right.
Huh?
They walked away.
Yeah. I did find
nobody exchanged names.
And somebody stole a car from my job at the time. Also, not my car.
Yeah,
somebody else's car. I found the car. So
that's what I'm saying.
I'm not saying there's not ways for you to know what to do. I'm just saying like in my mind, that's how I register it. Well, so like somebody got a good lick, and like I'm gonna walk away from that. It said things like I should have known better. Whereas somebody random, somebody that doesn't have that life experience, would have walked away from that like, oh my God, I've been a victim of something. I wouldn't have walked away thinking like I got victimized. I would have just been like, yeah, this is part of the game out here. Like you got to be on it. You got to be. You got to be on your. You got to be on your tippy toes, 10 toes down, trying to figure out how to like handle yourself in these environments, right?
My thought process behind that though is I think it has a lot to do with the context of the one, you're a man, and so it is just obvious to a certain extent that like the only, and then me and my mans have talked about this, that the only time that you're really going to fear a man is if they are actually coming up to you and doing something and or trying to incite something, because you know that the only reason that man is doing that is because they're willing to do something to you that would harm you. Either be a crackhead looking for something or whatever. Anybody else that's willing to be crazy enough to go up to you, a normal sized man that they know could be an actual threat to them as well. Then you're like, oh, like you thought this through. You really thought that I was the prime like victim here that you really think you could go through. So now I'm finna have to be put on game, trying to be like, okay, let me make sure. Not me though, dog. Because
no, well, I mean that's the point I'm making.
For
like,
me, it is an experience and an environment. These bitches out here walking them trails with their headphones on, that's chilling, not doing nothing. I'm like, girl,
that's different. Yeah, you're right.
You stay strapped.
You're right though.
It's Texas,
right,
girl.
Though,
you can.
For a girl, it's different. I'm just saying, like, even if I was in the hood and somebody pulled up and was like, "Yo," like, even if they pulled up with a gun, I'm gonna be like, "All right, look, bro, like, it is what it is." Like, and again, I'm gonna walk away from that experience, not like, "Oh my God."
If somebody try to break into my house,
If I'm in the house and you break into my house, I'm gonna kill you. But I'm just saying, but that's a different story.
If somebody try to break into my house, I got two.
To what?
2 avenues that I could take. So if
like escape routes.
No.
Damn, don't get so excited when you say that. She said that giddy. Like she ran.
I've ran through the
dress rehearsal that shit.
I ran through the scenario. There's 2 ways, right?
She's timing it like the Equalizer.
As fuck. Because first of all, my house pitch black. So if somebody walk up in there, those like I can't see right, but I can see. I can see you.
She comes out with the goggles. My man's also got me night vision goggles. Because that's the only way we can see each other at night when the light bill don't get paid. I love you. Just with your goggles.
Just trying to see. No,
you can't take
my thought process is if I have one, I want to get a shotgun, right? Because the one I got, I feel like it's too small and to really incite that much fear into somebody. I think personally, because if you wild enough to be going up into somebody's house, then you're in tech. What you think?
A gun doesn't give you fear.
if you walking up, if you trying to go pull up on somebody's house in Texas, you gotta at least know that there's a 50% chance that they gonna have a gun. So but if you bold enough to do it anyways, then if I got the gun, they gotta already have thought maybe that what to do if I were to have a gun, if the owner were to have a gun. Like those motherfuckers that was just killed, they had like bulletproof vests and they still. Well, apparently there was 2 guys that were trying to impersonate cops in Houston that was shot dead by the owner because they were like, and they had the whole gear and everything trying to get protected like as if that's going to do something. They had their own guns and stuff and the owner said, bop, bop, and dead. Police couldn't do nothing about it. Say, what you want me to do about it? You know people can carry here. Anyways, but if I have a shotgun, one, my thought process is if they hear it, they're going to be like, mejor me voy, right? Porque
so you're just going to shoot in the air?
Not even because you hear it, you're gonna be like, that's a shotgun. Mejor, I'm just gonna back.
No, right? My dumb ass. If I committed and I got bills to pay,
yeah.
Was that the dishwasher? Maybe the ice fell inside, inside the fridge.
I don't know. Maybe so there's that, and snore. Then the other route.
Be snoring weird.
Yeah, the other route is that if I were to have a situation where is some sort of they're already in the house and I gotta maneuver my way, I'm gonna get the biggest knife that I got, which is usually in my kitchen and stuff, and I'm gonna act a crazy woman, and I'm talking crazy like possessed, you know, like demons coming out of my body right now, just talk witch, bruja, and all of it.
La Llorona, you're gonna start
as fuck, dog. Tell me,
you seen that one?
Tell me, you try to walk up in a lady's house and you see this bitch running at you with like her fucking. Talk about mejor me voy. ¿Para qué?
I don't know if this was a comedy skit or if it actually happened, but there was this thing about where people said, I think it's a comedy skit because it sounds too funny to be real, but you never know out here. It was like somebody was trying to like hurt somebody and somebody just started shitting and throwing the shit at them. Bro, that would make me stop trying to fight you. That would make me stop whatever it is I had an intention of doing. Whether even if somebody wanted to kill you, I promise you, if you throw shit at them, they would not want to kill you. They'd be like, you know what, I'm gonna sit this one out. This person's on another level right now.
They throw shit at me,
but
dog.
Also trying to shit on command sounds like hella hard, especially if you're. You know, especially if you're anxious and shit. Like if you all of a sudden got nervous, I don't think I can shit like that. If I got nervous, I might just be like, bro, I'm too scared to shit. You know what I mean? It sounds good in theory when you think about it. Because you know what I mean? Like if it's gonna be life or death, I'd rather be alive knowing like, yo, are you the guy that threw shit at somebody? I'd be hell yeah, I threw shit at somebody. I'll stand tall on that. But also like, if I'm gonna be on the news, like what were you thinking? What were you thinking was the craziest part about this? And I'm gonna be like, I'm gonna be honest with you. The hardest part was the fact that I didn't know I could shit on command. I didn't know I could do that. That's a new ability that I just learned. I don't remember the last time I ate, but I all of a sudden my body just knew what to do. You know, my body just knew what to do. You know how adrenaline makes you people be like lifting cars and shit? I just realized adrenaline makes me shit on command. And I just need you to know.
Sorry.
I just need you to know that's how I got out of this situation.
Oh my Lord.
You know what I mean? Anyway, Camille Zapata, she be killing the Instagram. She be killing Gavin News's Instagram stories. Or her social media. She badass, bro. That was the craziest tangent that we've ever been on this pod.
Yeah.
That's the craziest tangent. We won.
It ended up in shit slinging. Yeah, so I don't know, man.
We once went on a tangent with your booger flicks off the car, and now, but we went full circle on this one. That's how you know we haven't been done doing this in a minute. Welcome back. We back, baby. We back.
I talked to him about that experience actually.
About our filming it, or you actually doing it?
Yeah. The
Which
second one.
Oh.
I'm answering the last question. Yes.
Got it.
Yes. The experience. I like the experience still. I really like it.
Well, good for you. It seems very therapeutic. Yeah. We'll bring it back. We'll clip that one back. We'll clip it back just so that you know we consistent out here.
I am consistent
so
about that.
You're impressed with Camille Zapata's...
I'm impressed because I did also see like somebody analyzing like who Gavin Newsom is and like why it's so easy for him to do what he does, right? Because like if you are somebody who is part of like a marginalized community and you on the come up and you're like AOC, right? You're like you're there, you have this platform. Your goal is to preserve that platform because it took you a lot to get there. So you are trying to preserve that entity for yourself. And so you might take some calculated risks, but you ain't gonna go bat shit like motherfucking Gavin Newsom, right?
Right.
But Gavin Newsom is one of them rich white folk that's just like, fuck with me, dog. I ain't got shit to lose.
He want that smoke.
I ain't got shit to lose on you, dog.
He wants
Pull
that
the
smoke.
fuck up.
He also wants to be president.
Which is cool.
Like, make no mistake about it.
I'm sure.
Gavin Newsom but he saw how bad Kamala did in terms of like public opinion, and he is like, oh, we need to position ourselves early to be the front runner.
That is the example and the epitome of what people say when people say use your privilege to work for you. Make it work for you.
He's pretty much standing on the street like, come at me, bro.
Because ain't nobody gonna do nothing to him.
What you gonna do?
Because you're a wealthy white.
But also, that's what Barack Obama did at the correspondence dinner, and now we're on the second term of the Trump presidency. So, I don't know. Fuck around and find out sometimes, because that's exactly why he became president. Yeah. That's exactly why he tried, because Barack Obama made hella jokes on his ass at the White House correspondence dinner, and we all thought that shit was funny as fuck until he ran, and he won. So... and now democracy's in shambles, and we don't know what the fuck to do, and our institutions are falling apart.
But what I'm saying is
don't stop making jokes. It's not that funny.
Nah, but I mean, I think that is like a good example of like.
Nah, he's killing it.
Yeah, and I like that. I like the fact that he's not running away from the fact of I'm privileged. I have a platform to stand on. I know I started my race ahead of a lot of people. At the end of the day, my life race, right? At the end of the day, shit. If it's even if he is doing it with a longer term like goal, right? When he's taking a big calculated risk, right? Oh yeah. As opposed to like everybody else taking like micro calculated risk. Motherfuckers are like, I'm 10 steps ahead of y'all, dog. Like, I got it. I'm gonna clown this motherfucker like motherfucking crazy.
We're in 25, right?
Yeah.
Are you looking forward to? Is he your front runner for 2028 lineup for the Democrats?
I had no clue that he was actually going to be doing that.
He 100%. He's been positioning himself to do that for years.
I only learned about him because he was getting all like, try me to come and take it kind of vibe. And then also, I also saw that after all this
crazy,
all of his digital platforms or whatever, his social media platforms going off, I was like, oh, I get it. I see what's happening. Like I got that, and I was like, oh, well, yeah. I mean, sure, whatever.
The people that you need to look for right now that are like pretty much going to be the front runners at the current moment, because there's no like crazy star that's like that popped up the way Barack did, that are like the front runners for the Democratic Party. I
got one guy here that I like in Texas.
People really, really enjoy Gavin Newsom, even though, to be fair, it might just be hype when it comes to more leftist people, because he pretty much tracks like an establishment Democrat. So he tracks like a corporatist, which makes sense. He's the governor of California, and he is pretty much in line with like all the Silicon Valley, but Palo Alto people. So he pretty much would track, in theory, the same as like a Biden in terms of policy. Like the things he would vote for is the same as like Biden and Kamala. But who knows? There's also Pete Buttigieg. He's established himself. He's like trying to like establish himself outside of the Democratic rank. AOC. She will be eligible in 2028. She just turned 35 recently, or she just turned 35 or she's about to turn 35, and she is spicy than a motherfucker.
Yeah,
so
she is.
She is coming, and she's coming from like the other side of the coalition. So she'll have like a lot of the marginalized communities.
Yes. Yeah, that I was talking about before.
Like kind of like on track. Like, she's tracking to kind of catch them because she's been on brand with herself for the entire time. I think just recently she started sounding a little bit more like a centrist because of the Israel thing. Mm-hmm. But by and large, she tracks like a more leftist Bernie.
Yeah,
like
I mean, wasn't she going on
like Bernie
tour
disciple?
with his ass right
now? Yeah, like essentially Bernie has like announced her as his predecessor.
Yeah.
And then who else can you? I think despite the fact that Kamala said she doesn't want to run again, I think that feels very much like a political. I want to feel what it's like to be a working class person so that I can try to run again. I think that she pretty much tracks as somebody that's gonna try again. And if the Democratic establishment puts her back on again, it just means that they haven't learned their lesson.
Yeah.
But the DNC is by and large still very much rigged.
Yeah,
because like
1,000%.
Yeah, these people are like, they just should have known better than to put her back in and to not let an actual like ranked choice vote for the Democratic primary after Biden dropped out. But I mean, that's neither here nor there. But those are like the people that are right now are pretty much like, they keep constantly thinking about it in the polls. It doesn't mean that somebody might not pop up.
I mean, right now,
Beto O'Rourke always gets
Beto's
named.
there. So here for Texas specifically, there's Beto. I know there's James Tallarico. I don't know if you know who he is. He's like he's an interesting
James who?
Tallarico, I think is his name. Tallarico, something like that.
What does he do?
He is a he's something here in Texas. I think a representative or something. To an extent. Fact check me on that. Put it on screen or something. But he's actually a religious guy.
Oh, is that the guy that's a pastor? It's like the short guy, clean cut hair.
Yeah, he was son of a pastor.
Like, he's like going to churches and shit, he looks real clean cut. He looks like a big square.
He's the son of a pastor. Yeah, yeah. He looks. He looks like the SpongeBob Square dude. Remember? Do you even?
I think I know who you're talking about.
Yeah.
Small, can you show me a picture of him real quick?
Yeah, I'll show you.
I think it's like this. It's like small white boy.
Yeah.
They're like and he's been going on and on about how like
James Tallarico.
Oh yeah. He's the guy. I think he is a pastor.
I don't know. I know he was the son of a pastor. I don't know if he is a pastor.
I think he's very heavily
right
involved in the church. What? He's the guy that keeps talking about how there should be a separation of church and state.
1,000%. Yeah.
And so which props to him though, because that's boss.
I think it's very bold of him to do here in Texas with as much like the Christian communities that are. I mean, really everywhere in the United States. But I think I like his stance on that because I think there are a lot of younger people who. You think of Gavin Newsom and you think of the corporate people, right? Sure. You think of the corporate people who don't give a fuck about whether or not there is any relationship between the church and the state, right? Sure. Versus this guy that's just like, bro, I've been in the church and I've been deep in that church. I read the Bible and wiped my ass with it, everything. I know it, right? Like he's like,
it knows me.
I know it, right? And he's like, he says it really straight up and appeals to a lot of the, even like, I would say middle-aged and somewhat older folk that are like disillusioned with a lot of the shit that's been happening within their communities, right? And so I think him being a person who has like an extensive knowledge about that and is like pioneering this really, really big, not pioneering, but he's like, going for establishing that he thinks and more people should think that there should be a separation between church and state, like a definitive one that is very clear and cut that says you cannot cross this line. That's it, right? There is an actual line between what is allowed and what's not allowed. And I like that for him. I like that for him in Texas. And I think there's a lot of people around the United States that are kind of like vibing with him, especially right now. Because I think he left Texas during this whole gerrymandering debacle.
Well, I was about to say, I mean, California is also might be potentially saving our ass by them redistricting so that they can they can get more Democratic seats.
Yeah.
Which in theory,
that's how gerrymandering works. It's always been the case.
In theory, I enjoy the fact. So like I always get split. My brain gets split into two directions whenever this happens.
Yeah.
Listen, it gets split. Okay, because on one side, the degenerate in me is like, yeah, fight fire with fire, dog. Like, go, you if you want to play like that, then we can play like that too. You know what I mean? So, but the like upstanding wannabe citizen, the upstanding citizen that I want to be, says like, why can't we just have this be fair? Yeah. In a true democracy, why can't you just divide the shit the way it's supposed to get divided so that it makes sense? And then you just have to deal with the repercussions of what the people actually fucking want.
Yeah.
And I know that even though that's a tall order, even though it's completely logical,
it shouldn't be a tall order, but it is.
But it's a tall order because people just want power.
Yeah.
So it doesn't surprise me, but there's a part of me that says that, like, what one of my first thoughts in my head is, we shouldn't even be having this conversation. We should be fucking adults about what is going on and deal with the fact that y'all got some loser ass shit policies that nobody fucking wants, and y'all just want to cling on to power as much as possible and scapegoat people that are marginalized and as a scare tactic to try to make people vote for you that don't know any better.
Yeah.
Right? Which is probably the most concise way that I've ever said that they ain't shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I also like look at the gerrymandering thing, and I'm like, yeah, man, go for it. Like, if they're running on some bullshit here, then somebody has to play ball somewhere.
My thought process is the same thing. Is that's why Gavin Newsom is like gaining so much traction. It's because for the longest time, I think Democrats have always tried to pretend, and I say pretend very specifically, to be on this moral high horse of, we would never do that. We would never get bought out by corporations. We would never do that. We're for the people, guys. We're for the working people, right? That's what they've always done. Be like, bro, be real with yourself. Like, y'all get bought out just as much as Republicans do. Ain't no reason y'all motherfuckers should be worth millions of dollars on a government salary. Let's be for real.
Or stop buying stocks.
Exactly.
Fuck that.
So at the end of the day,
what you got on the S&P?
Nancy Pelosi just should not have as much money as she has. Okay, let's be fucking for real. Although
you should be buying stocks that she buys.
Yeah, but
why not?
My thought process is if at the end of the day, like, if you got to take that facade off. You got to stop pretending to be on this moral high horse and be real with yourself. Fight just as dirty as they are at the end of because that's what Gavin Newsom is doing. So he's like, you know what? You already know that I'm bought out by half of the people that are running my campaign. Cool. But you know what I am going to do on top of the fact that I was already bought out? I'm going to play fire with fire. So if you're going to do that, cool. I'm going to do this too. And I think a lot of people who are aware that the system is not close enough to fall, like to dismantling itself, because the system is still technically running and it's still creating a really comfortable environment for a lot of people. The minute that system stops creating a comfortable environment for the most privileged in our society, excluding the 1% that have hella money, that's when you're like, oh, shit's about to actually hit the fan. I don't actually think that's going to happen within our lifetime. I think it's going to take a really long time. I don't know. Me personally, I just don't think it'll happen that crazy, close.
Man.
But let shit hit the fan and we find out.
In 2007, I never thought we would have a black president.
That's true.
And we got that. It didn't have the intended effect that we wanted it to have.
But my thought process is
shit
that
is crazy out here. Shit can happen.
It is. My thing is like, I really don't think that the system is broken enough yet, and it sucks that that's the word that I'm using with it, because I think it's so broken, but it's still functioning as a broken system.
Here's what I say, and I think this is where you and I differ. I think we want the same things, obviously.
Yeah.
But I think here's where you and I differ. The thing that America is really great at is being a consumer, and that is in every aspect of it. We are a consumer nation. We are a consumer economy. That's what it is. We don't make shit. We just buy shit, right? That's what our whole MO is, right?
Overconsume.
Yeah, but that's not exclusive to actual things. We consume everything from media to information to, like, we are just hyper consumers, right? And one of the things that we consume the most, since we're in Texas, they made us sing the pledge every morning.
Yeah, nationalism.
Right? Like, one of the things we consume is the facade and the veneer of American exceptionalism.
Oh, yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like, that's one of the things that we consume the most, and we believe it, right?
Yeah.
And some of it is all frivolous and fun. Oh, Texas is the best. Oh, you know what I mean? Like, oh, American pride, or oh, we're Americans. We do, like, and there's some things we do really well, right? But the idea of American exceptionalism is something that we buy into wholeheartedly
Yeah.
from beginning to
It's
end.
ingrained,
right?
dog.
Where you go to Europe right now and they're fine. Like
Yeah.
I've been to Europe, I've been to many countries, I've been to other places,
Yeah.
I've been to countries that have very different, ways of life. I've talked to people that come from socialist countries. I've come from people that come from, man, I'm burping a lot today. I've talked to people that come from borderline authoritarian regimes. I've talked to people that were part of Soviet Russia. I've had friends that so
Yeah.
it's a completely different environment, but like
They're fine.
in a lot of ways, they have good and bad things to say about everything. In the same way, they have good and bad things to say about our country, right? But we buy this we consume this American exceptionalism like it's no tomorrow,
Yeah.
right? And one of the things that comes with that is that we're a lot farther along than we think we are. That's one of the things that we buy into. And that's one of the things that I've realized over the past 5 years, really, essentially since 2016, since the Trump presidency. One of the things that I've realized is that we were not and are not as far along as we claim to be.
I see.
You know what I mean? So when we were growing up, we were looking at all these history books. We were reading all these things. We were reading the Trail of Tears. We were reading the Reconstruction South, and we were reading all of these things, right? Which we're not that far removed from, right?
No.
And we were operating under the impression, again, consuming the idea that we are better than that. We are a modern society. We are a first world nation. We are past that. And maybe not past that in the practicality, minutia, day to day, go to this neighborhood and feel unsafe kind of way. But we are past that in the abstract, in the sense that like we know better. We're the adults in the conversation. We are the adults when it comes to world policy. And what we're coming to find out is that we're not. We haven't been. Since the Trump presidency, what he's been able to do is rip apart the
illusion.
the veneer of the American exceptionalism plan, or not plan, but the idea of it. The idea of American of American exceptionalism. We are not as progressive as we say we are. But by and large, as a country, we are not as tolerant as we say we are.
And I agree.
We are not. We are more racist than you think.
Oh, without
we are. I mean, you look at Germany, South Africa, right? Like the two main big systems of potential big moments in world history of segregation and eugenics and things like that. They didn't learn that in the abstract.
No.
Like if you can look back and find evidence of Hitler just heavily studying the Reconstruction South.
Yeah.
He learned that from us. He read the stuff that
we did,
that Southern politicians were doing after the Emancipation Proclamation, and said, "Bro,
it's not even
I can run with this."
It's not even as far back as that. I mean, just in that time, there was Japanese internment camps.
Correct.
There was.
That's what I'm saying.
There was even the railroad construction with
but
the
we
Chinese
don't make that
immigrants.
connection.
Of course,
as Americans, we don't say, "Oh, Hitler learned that from us." We don't say that. We say we're better than that, so we have to go stop fascism, and we beat fascism. That's why democracy is better. Again, we consume that.
And you
idea. Can call it propaganda, or you can call it, revisionist history, or you can call it, the winner's history, because the winner, the
writes it all. Yeah.
History is written by the victors. So, you can call it whatever you want, but nobody that I've ever talked to has ever said "Hey, we might want to fucking rethink this, or at least really show that we're better, because they got it from us, dog." So it wasn't like they learned it in a vacuum and they just got all that shit. No, they were inspired by
when
us.
it comes down to that, because I agree with all of that. When I say the system isn't broken enough, I'm talking about our political system, in the way that we still enact our laws and the way that we vote and stuff like that.
I know what you're saying. You're saying that not enough people are negatively impacted by certain policies to the point where they will want to do something about it. That complacency,
I think
and
not enough,
and being far removed.
I think not enough privileged people are going through that.
Yeah, but you have to be specific about that, because I know what you mean. You mean that middle class people aren't getting affected by certain things. Because some of them, obviously the 1% is not getting affected by those things. But there has to be a majority threshold that's not being affected, and the majority threshold by definition means that the privilege that you're talking about isn't being internalized by the listener
Of course,
as as the majority.
Yeah.
What if you say the word privilege, people may associate that word with very specific groups of people, i.e., maybe just the 1%, and then we're gonna say, okay, we need to figure out the 1%. No, but what you mean is regular people.
Oh,
in a lot of ways,
Yeah.
regular people aren't getting affected enough by some of these policies,
Yeah.
so enough for them to want to do something.
So
about it.
when I say the privileged community, and like I talk to my man about this a lot, is the privileged community involves anybody who is, because it's all accident. You don't gain privilege outside of the fact that you were just lucky enough to be born into it.
Right, of course.
Because you were either lucky enough to be born a man, you were lucky enough to be born a white man, you were lucky enough to be born into those societies,
Yeah,
and that and that when I say privilege is like, unless the top of the gun here in the United States, which would be a stereotypical white man, which is essentially at the top of the hierarchy that we've established in terms of privilege here in the United States, unless that person actually thinks that they have rights to lose, I don't actually believe that there will be a crumbling of our system, like complete disintegration of it.
There's a running joke that the Black Panthers, I think, used to make, where they say, if you want gun legislation, you have to give all black and brown people guns.
Yeah.
And then immediately, I promise you, there'll be gun legislation by Monday.
Exactly.
Right? Because because the white power structure that you're talking about would feel threatened.
Yes.
And they would make something happen.
And I think a lot of people don't internalize that because a lot of people, obviously, when they think privilege, they think, but I was also poor, but I also struggled, but I also had this. It's like, well, the privilege doesn't talk about whether or not you struggled in life. Everybody struggles in life. The billionaire right now is probably struggling in life right now. We're not. It's not about the struggle Olympics. It's about the fact that because of what you happen to be born into or happen to be growing up around, that you have entitlements to certain things that people don't actually have entitlements for right now, that also we're born here, that we're also raised here and whatnot. So to me, I feel like it's going to take that. And I mean, not gonna lie, I do think that we are running pretty close to it to a certain extent here. But right now, they're really, really, really pushing on the racist agenda. So they are going out of their way to create an environment because they think that it'll be possible to basically fail-safe a situation where white people will never get affected by, like, your stereotypical Christian white person is never actually going to get affected by any of the legislation that they're putting, because they're trying to rig it into a way that will never happen. At least that's the false sense of security that they're trying to paint to the white people, right? Now, and a lot of them are buying it. A lot of them are like, yeah, you're right. I am the victim here. You're right. It's all the criminals and the illegals and this and that. That's why I don't have a job. No, Susan, you don't have a job because you don't want to get up your ass. Okay, like that's just how that works.
Some corporatists
or some corporatists is actually
cheaper labor than
exactly. That's what they're doing. Like, they're gonna give it to whoever's gonna give them the lowest price. Who's gonna lowball them the most? The people who have nothing. Right. And
but it's funny because the same people that will complain about them losing their job are the same people that, and I mean, statistically speaking, are the same people that have praised Trump for making good business practices, and the good business practices that he says he does, i.e., whenever he doesn't pay workers in New York that are construction workers that he hired, which is a actual, you could find out the details of that lawsuit online, is because of that. Is because he says, I found cheaper labor. So I'd rather pay the cheaper labor. So the same people that will complain that they lost their job to cheaper labor will praise a businessman for finding cheaper labor. And that's the whole irony of it all. That's why the Republican grift is so powerful. Because
so do you think that at any point, I know you might have to leave soon, but do you think that there might be a point in time within our lifetime where these groups of people will actually feel threatened enough to want to dismantle the whole system that was set up by,
I don't know. I think
because there's people who say throw it all away, anarchy, right? And then there's people who say
Viva la revolution.
Fix the system within the system. Vote. Do what you got to do to fix the system.
I'm torn,
do you think the system is even worth fixing now, or do you think that it's at a point where you're like, I don't know?
I don't know what camp I fall into. I think I consider myself more a pragmatist than an idealist. So, and I think that's how I've lived my life in general. So I think that's the real way that I know how to behave. So in my mind, I think that I would be the best at confronting whatever situation's in front of me. So if you give me a situation where I can thrive because of a capitalistic structure, I'm going to take advantage of a capitalistic structure. If you give me a situation where I can thrive off of anarchy, I'm going to take advantage of the anarchy. So I consider myself a pragmatist in that way. Like I can be flexible at both. But if I wanted to think emotionally, a part of me, the rebel inside of me, says, well, a revolution would be phenomenal, because then we could then. I kind of have this theory when it comes to religion. I think that most things could. I think that we're in theory. I don't hate religion, but I think as a society, religion has run its course. I think that it for what is it intended to be at the beginning of civilization up until probably around the Industrial Revolution, it pretty much ran its course. It pretty much did its job, and now it's pretty much holding us back. And
I can see that. As a religious person, I can see that.
Yeah. Because it really hinders a lot of like forward thinking, science-based rule. Even though I understand the fear is that if you go way far into the no faith-based or the unhinging of morality, which I think is a fallacy in and of itself. But I think the unhinging of the unwinding morality from a faith-based structure, that you run into being so logical that you also then become a little bit immoral, right?
Yeah.
So I get that. But I think by and large, it's run its course. You wouldn't have Israel-Palestine. You wouldn't have a lot of faith-based things that I think we're way past now, that we can understand in a much deeper way. You would figure out a way to self-identify by other attributes that I think are incredibly more important than just your faith-based structure. Even though the faith-based structure is incredibly important to building community, but I think you can find community in a lot of different ways. That are more conducive to places and that you actually affect.
Yeah.
Meaning, like, I believe that Houstonians, for example, have a better chance at building a better Houston if they just all identified as Houstonians instead of Muslim Houstonians or Christian Houstonians, right? Yeah. I think Houston would be a better place if everybody would just consider themselves Houstonians and use that as their primary identity structure as opposed to everything else, right? Now, that's not to say that, again, subcultures and all that jazz, right? So I feel that same way about a revolution.
About America.
I feel the same way sometimes on an emotional level. I think it'd be great because then we could just start at zero. Everybody can get a blank slate, and then we could just build whatever we want in whatever structure we want, right?
You think it's even possible with this many people?
But you also run into. I think there's a good argument to be made that the structure that we have was not intended for this many people. I think there's a good argument that the founding fathers never envisioned 350 million people to have to attend to. I think that if you would have given them that hypothetical problem, they wouldn't have created the structure. There's an argument to be made by that. I don't know if I would make that argument. I don't know that much about the details of what the founding fathers wanted. But here we are with their structure, so we have to figure it out. There's another part of me that says that the system, by and large, is the best system in the world currently. You can make an argument that it's the best system in terms of a consumer society. You can make the argument that Japan has the better system or that China has the better system if you wanted to talk about progress for progress' sake. But again, up to the eye of the beholder.
I mean, all of them are running into the same problems with their they're members of society as we are, though. So the bigger
slightly
the problems.
None of them are dealing with a health issue, though.
None of them are dealing with a health issue, but all of them, I think,
again, consumer society. None of them are dealing with an obesity issue. None of them are dealing with a education issue. None of them. But all of them
are dealing with, including us, are dealing with low birth rate issues.
Yes, but those are for two different reasons. China, because China had the one-child policy for a very long time, and then all of a sudden they were instructed to make a lot of babies. So now, because their way of life can flourish and people aren't dying at 40 anymore, now you have a generation of people that didn't have enough babies, having to get taken care of by the not enough babies that they made. Yes. And now there's a lot of babies coming up, so now there's a lot of old people that have to take care of a lot of babies. So in a couple of years, they might not have that issue.
Well, what my thought process is that, like, in like that's just one of them, right?
And Japan has a production problem. Japan is overly productive. Like, Japan knows how to be very efficient with its workforce, and they like to work so much so that they don't want to have sex.
Well,
you know what I mean?
I don't know, because I consume a lot of Japanese media because I like the Japanese culture.
Yeah, but their productivity levels are through the roof.
But their productivities are like that, this is the same problem like in like Korea, where it's not that they like to work, it's that their culture of working. That's why a lot of them who come here, because I have friends that are from those areas, they're like, I never want to go back. The fuck you talking about that I have to literally sacrifice my life to work just to earn a little bit of money,
right? But
when I can come here and have a work-life balance.
But somebody here might look at that and say, why would I not want to go to a place that can provide me healthcare?
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Why would I not, like, people like because they want to, like, of course anybody
Obviously,
that everybody
it's always in the
like
looking
everybody
glass
that
of, like,
lives
well,
in that
what,
kind of society is going to walk into our society and say
freedom.
100% I want to be a consumer.
Freedom.
That's all I could do is be a consumer most of my time. Hell the fuck yeah.
And for us,
right?
it's like
and
stability.
for us, it's like, please just give me a little bit of stability.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. So like for the consumers, we're all like, we just want stability. We just want to be able to flourish in our life properly with education and free healthcare.
Right.
To them, they're like, yeah, but I just want to be able to live my life freely. Like, I just want to be able to do that.
Right.
And they do that with every consumer society.
I believe that there is something to be said about the structure that we have, both political and in general.
Yeah.
That I think we could refine and I think could work well, so long as we solve for the power grab structure. So like long as you
trying to take corporate America out of corporate America.
That's really the hard part,
hard.
and it's not even corporate America. Making common sense laws that will take away certain things, certain byproducts from happening, certain power grab structures. Whether it's corporate America, but not even like corporate
even
money.
Just that, yeah.
It's more so like making sure that people that like currently right now, in order for you to be a senator, you pretty much have to graduate from an Ivy League school. It's one of the only ways to become. It's like with the guaranteed way. Like most of the people, if you have ever been around Ivy League students, which I have, I've been around a lot of people that have gone to these elitist institutions. A lot of those, when people talk about education being like the fail-safe of this country, I mean, they're not lying. Like if you want, statistically speaking, a good life, you need a top quality education. It's almost hands down. I'm not saying college is important the same way that it used to be, but I'm talking about the highest level of education. There's still no way around it. So if you
not here,
if you are thinking
really not everywhere,
if you're thinking of building a legacy for your last name, and I say that very, very specifically. I'm not talking about a career. I'm not talking about a job or a salary.
We're talking
I'm talking about
Vanderbilt.
if you want to build a legacy for your last name, you pretty much need to either become the luckiest person in the world, or have been a part of a structure that is deeply tied to an Ivy League institution.
Yeah.
So a lot of these people that go there will then drop out and be a Zuckerberg or a Bill Gates because they already have the funding and a brilliant idea and the structure and all the networking available. Or you go to an Ivy League institution and walk away saying, I went for political science and I became a lawyer, or I became this, or I went to Harvard undergrad and I went to Columbia Law or to Princeton Law or whatever it is, or I went to Brown to be at the business school to try to be an investment banker, whatever it is that you're doing over there, right? One of the options that you have, and it's not because of popularity, one of the things that a lot of those people do say to themselves is, I could also probably be a senator.
Yeah.
Right? Which inevitably means that part of the thing that you are now open to is, I'm a Harvard educated lawyer.
Mm-hmm.
One of the options available to me is that I could be president one day, because I could then, instead of going into my corporate law job, I could just cozy my way into a political structure.
Yeah.
And
bump a little shoulders, rebel a little bit,
and be part of those circles anyway. Right? Which the plumber down the street can't do that.
Yeah.
Right? So if we've figured out a way to fail safe for that as a political structure, then I think it evens out the playing field. If anybody could actually gain the popularity enough to become somebody, then you could solve for a lot of those problems. It doesn't come without its double-sided coin, though.
Yeah.
Like the other side of the coin is, you want, like, this is part of the reason why Trump is so infuriating to me, is because in the positions of power, and I mean this, and I don't mean power in a bad way, like they're using power to their advantage and taking and being being divisive with their power. Power is not inherently a bad thing. Because you want if you were in charge of a household, you need power.
Yeah.
If you are a child and you want to feel safe, you want your dad to have power over your house, over whatever, right?
Yeah.
So positions of power should come with a certain level of expertise, should come with a certain level of intelligence, and it should come with a certain level of emotional intelligence, and it should also come with a certain level of caution. All of those things need to be the perfect mix, right? Because Trump, for example, has none of those things. By almost every metric, he is less intelligent than Barack Obama. By every single metric, he is less intelligent. And that's a problem, because if you have somebody that doesn't understand anything about how the world works, the decisions that they make because you gave them power will inevitably be bad for everyone.
Yeah.
Period. Or you can get taken advantage of by people that could use an advantage and could use you as a pawn.
Do you think that there is a certain level of like fiduciary standard that needs to be there as well?
Yeah, some education.
Yeah.
Like you need to be
like fiduciary by like because okay, maybe I'm using this based off of what I know from work, but like the fiduciary standard meaning like I have to ethically do the right thing
100%.
at all the time.
Yeah.
Right?
Like you can't buy stocks. You can't. You have
Yeah.
to give up all your businesses. Like I think if you're going to be a public servant, you need to be a public servant.
You need-
and if you want to go and make millions and millions of dollars, get out of the public servant sector.
Yeah.
Like you know the public sector. Period.
I
You
think
you
all
can't
of those
be a public
things-
servant and then use that position to become very wealthy.
Yeah,
those two
I
things
think
do not
all
align.
of those things plus that like extensive
And I'm okay with both
fiduciary
independently.
standard. Yeah.
If you want to become very wealthy, go be
it.
very wealthy. Come
what
up
you
with a
gotta do.
brilliant idea, and that's the other side. That's the other side of the third that I'm talking about. One of them is I'm like emotionally attached to the revolution,
Yeah.
and then others I'm like intellectually attached to the system.
Yeah.
But then there's another part where I say there is something incredibly important about the idea of remind me exactly what you just said right now. Like, but because it was tied to that. You were
the
talking
fiduciary
about
standard?
Yeah,
Like,
you said it fit like fiduciary. You know,
the ethical, like that they should have a certain level of fiduciary standard and like the ethics that go into doing the right thing for everybody.
Yeah, but I was saying something like right after you said that. Because I was on a train of thought about the like intellectual part about the position or whatever. But you know, all in all, I think those positions should come with. Oh, sorry, there's a capitalist part of me. So I do believe in capitalism.
Yeah.
So whenever somebody comes to me and says, "Oh, you're like, you know, do you want to be a socialist?" or like people on our side of the aisle, like way left, will want to be socialist. I'm not a socialist.
I'm not a socialist.
By and large, I'm not. I believe that capitalism works so long as it's not vampire capitalism.
Yes.
So long as it has
So
its
you're
checks
not
and balances.
leeching off of
yeah.
something.
So I believe in by the economic standards, traditional capitalism. I don't believe in bailing out banks. I think if a bank fucks up, you need to let it die. I think that if an idea pops up, I don't believe in monopolies. So if Apple is trying to silence the little guy because it has a better idea or buy after product, I don't believe in that. I think that you should let the market be actually free market.
Yeah.
I think that you should stop trying to influence markets because I don't give a fuck if a giant corporation dies. It's the life cycle of business, baby. Like, let's fucking go.
Yeah.
Right?
That's how it should be.
Right. And if you are financially responsible, you'll be fine. You know what I mean? Because even if your idea flops, eventually, even if you had a 10-year run and it dies out because AI came or whatever, hopefully you were responsible enough to be able to have a fail-safe and then jump into the market again. Let's go, baby.
That's how I feel like when you look at it through the capitalistic point of view, that's how capitalism started and how it was originated here in the United States, which is why, to a certain extent, which is why of course it was built off the back of literal slaves.
Right.
So the idea.
That's why I said kind of, and it's also just in the abstract.
Yeah,
in theory, free market capitalism was an idea that they strived for, but they never
when they were
got.
trying to do that, which they never did perfectly well. But like for instance, if you were to kind of take it out of that context, and here in the United States, right? But you think of people like Ford, right?
Sure.
You think of the fact that they said, well, we're going to start with wagons, dog, and then we're going to move up to this kind of tiny little vehicle.
But that's
that
not
moves
what they said.
I know. But like, well, okay, let's in theory pretend that not Ford, but another automotive company, right, decided that that's how they were going to go about their business, right? When things started changing in society, if they had those fail safes, they should still, like you said, theoretically be able to do that. I
agree with what you're saying. Yeah.
And at the end of the day, I feel like that is where it got the waters got real muddy.
Well, that's where the vampire comes in.
That's where they got real muddy afterwards.
Because now after the '08 financial crisis, all these big banks said, "Oh, we fucked up with these mortgage lenders and we fucked up with these things. So can we please have a little safety and have a bailout? Because without us, you're gonna fail."
Yeah.
Like, okay, let's fucking go then. There's another bank. There's be another bank. You fucked up. You need to go to jail. You need to get retribution. You need to have a public apology.
Yeah.
You need to go do this because the government is not there to supply big businesses with a way out. It's supposed to be there as a voice for the majority of people.
Of the people, yeah. Right. And I think I mean me like I said, like we were talking about right now, is like I'm not necessarily a socialist, really. I mean, I'm a
democratic socialist.
I'm a democratic socialist, but I'm not somebody who believes in that necessarily, that there is a way to be able to do all of that effectively.
Well, I want to go on the record to be clear. Democratic socialism is not socialism.
No.
Socialism is where the workers control the means of production.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And there is no bosses. And democratic socialism means that there are social safety nets in a capitalistic structure that fight for that fight for groups of people.
I think something that, like, for instance, like all our politicians right now, they're doing two things. They're trying to pioneer and or say these things to people to try and get them to want to go out and vote, right? Which is you're taking the Gavin Newsom side, and you're like, okay, we should essentially separate like the politics, right? And then also kind of a little bit separate capitalism from that, but not too much, just a little bit, so you're aware that there is a bit of a working effort to move them away from each other, right? Then there's the other one, James, that's like, well, yeah, we should do the religion and that's what's the real problem in the society. It's like, no, I think there should be a legit separation between church, state, and capitalism. There needs to be a very clear distinction.
Well, capitalism is an economic structure. The politics is a governmental structure.
Yes,
so our Republican federalist structure,
our democratic structure here has been infiltrated and seeped really deep into capitalistic ties. Lobbyists,
100%.
all they do.
There's money there, yeah.
That's all they're working for, right? Yeah. The little law that you think is just about taking away your taxes is actually for something completely differently, 100%. Right? So the fact that,
but that goes back to my education point. We need the precedent,
and there needs to be. I personally think, as a society, I don't think education is bad. I think education is a good thing. What I don't like is when people of education try to put themselves either one, taking advantage, or two, putting themselves on this moral high horse of like, I know better than you because I happen to have this education.
And that's what people on the right. People that are rural people, that's what they complain about when it comes to leftists, that we're elitist about our education, about how we come from Ivy League schools.
I really do think that the majority of people in America, like the centralists, that most people kind of tether the line between, I kind of like that conservative value, but I also like this liberal value. That's kind of how we work. A lot of those people will say, I don't think I'm better than you because I happen to have some college education or some more professional education, right? All I'm trying to do is work for the same thing. Make sure you get your bills paid and make sure that motherfucker isn't trying to leech off your money.
But this is why it goes back to the point that because you asked specifically if I thought that if there was ever a way for us to see that kind of progress, and that's where in our lifetime, and that's where my 3-pronged tug of war comes in. Because a revolution would be handy if people could continue being on some fuck shit, and then there's a whole bunch of other bullshit that's happening, right? Yeah. But my tug of war is,
you got those three tug of wars that you're just
that's part of my 3 tug of wars, and that's why I think that the current structure, it doesn't work, or not that it doesn't work, but like, say the president, for example, like there's nothing wrong with saying that the president needs to be intelligent. So whenever somebody says, "Oh, I need to be part of the working class,"
if you're trying to do that, if you're trying to run the whole country, you really should be intelligent.
You should be held to the highest standard.
You should be held to the absolute highest standard in the United States 100%. Ever, and that goes to every country as well. Like, that doesn't just apply to us.
Correct. The problem is that because it's a popularity contest, what people say is, I want to relate, right? and I want to.
I want to relate to the working class person.
I want to relate to the working class, and in my mind, logically speaking, I'm like, that is the worst recipe. I don't know that much about certain things. I don't want somebody in a position of power that can affect the world with only my knowledge.
Yeah.
I need somebody that knows more than me about X, Y, and Z. Or at the very least knows enough about all of these little things that can get experts about every little thing and create the right advisory board.
That's exactly how it should be. Because in my thought process, is again, I talk to my mans about this all the time, is I don't need to know how to fucking use plumbing, dog. What I need is to do what I got to do and be able to acquire an expert in their field who knows everything they got to know about this. But that expert in their field is going to come to me for the things that they need from me.
I gave this example the other day.
Yep.
Democracy will put our leaders in place, and our leaders are supposed to place, put other people in place, right? I don't need the democracy at NASA. I really don't. And I'm being dead serious about that, because what the hell do I need to vote for in a democratic way for whoever gets hired at NASA or whoever has the highest paid job there? I need the most intelligent people to be at NASA. Yeah. And the only people that know those people and where to find them are the people at NASA that already know what to do and what they're looking for. I don't need Joe the plumber to vote for what the fuck is happening at NASA. Yeah. At all. Stay the fuck away from that problem. That's not your problem to solve.
You don't know anything about it.
Again, there goes my point. Yeah. And that's where I say, like, democracy has its place in certain structures, but then the people that get elected should be the ones to understand. Mm-hmm. And that's why I say it requires intelligence. It requires caution. And maybe I left out selflessness. You need to take away the idea that you're using a political job as a stepping stone into your career. If you're going to be in the public service sector, you need to be of service, and nothing else needs to be part of that conversation. If you then want to transition and make millions of dollars because you want to know what it's like to live that kind of lifestyle, step away from public service and build a business or go work for or whatever, right? But those two things have to be separate, because there are certain things where the average person being able to have their say in it is the worst thing in the world, right?
Dude, what the fuck do I have to say
if I'm on a plane
to an aerospace engineer?
Correct. If I'm on a plane and there needs to be a vote about something, I need the best people that know what the fuck they're doing to be the ones making that decision. Because what the hell does the person that bought a $300 ticket gonna know about this? Gonna know about what the fuck is happening? No, bro. I'm trusting you.
I'm trusting the pilot to take care of what you gotta take care of.
And that's where the big problem that I think is part of that trifecta of that tug of war is that a lot of the times people use politics as a stepping stone in their career, as a way to get powerful. Because they are elitist, and this is Republicans in Republicans also. Yes. Every single senator that has that is currently a senator, there's only a handful of people that started off as working class people. Mm-hmm. Most of the senators, most of the House of Representatives, most of all of the people working in high government are all highly educated people, even the Republican ones.
Of course.
Right? Even those Republicans, like Ted Cruz went to an Ivy League school. George Bush went to an Ivy League school.
Which is why it stresses me out that the Republican Party has a habit of trying to persuade the average American citizen that leans to conservative values. Mm-hmm. They try to make them believe and or convince them of the fact that
they're the same. They're
the same.
They're not the same at all. It's the same way that when Morgan Wallen tells you that he's a working class guy with a Dodge Ram, they're not the same.
No, you're not.
He's flying private to every show.
Exactly.
We're not the same.
And my thought process behind that is like, at the end of the day, being honest to your constituents and saying, my education level and your education level are not the same, but to create this idea that inflates their insecurity of not having the same level of education that you have or that I have or that whoever has, or even them, that they're Ivy League graduates and whatnot. Bro, me as someone who's moderately educated, because I'm not considered a highly educated person, even in my field. I'm very moderately educated and I know a little bit of something, but not enough of it around, right? I can't personally sit here and say that the person who went to that Ivy League school, whether you got in there because of your daddy's dime or not, if you finished it, however you finished it, you have a working knowledge of a system that I'm not privy to, that I will never be privy to, because I don't lean towards it. I'm not that it's not possible. I know a lot of people who came from our background that ended up in Ivy League schools. We saw friends of ours go to Ivy League schools. But the one thing that all of them have come back and said is, bruh,
we are unprepared.
We are unprepared
100%.
to be in this situation
100%.
because their mindsets are totally
different.
I'm here because I thought that this was the end all. This was supposed to be where I succeeded. Like, I made it to an Ivy League school. I graduated. Oh my God, I'm an Ivy League grad. But that's not what they were here for. They were not here to be anIvy League grad.
No, they were there to as a stepping stone for something else.
They were there to meet senators. They were there to meet.
Correct.
To go to White House correspondence and do all this stuff and be like, oh, I know I was an intern
or not
there.
Even White House, just businesses in general,
Wherever, you know, like Goldman Sachs, anywhere else, right? You go there and you do that. We are not privy to that information.
Yeah, the people that go to the Wharton School at Brown, they're not going to try to learn economics. They're going there so that they can talk to Diamond.
Exactly.
So that they can get in the room with Diamond. They're not going there to, you know what I'm saying? But anyway, that by and large, to answer your question, even though it's convoluted, I have hope that there is a way to get the kind of change in our lifetime with the certain safeguards, but it would require the ability for a lot of these people that are going into these fields to understand everything that I just said intrinsically and to have a level of empathy for people.
That's the hardest part.
That's the hard part. It's because
empathy
there's always
is
going
very
to be
hard for people to
there's always
get
going to
on
be
right now.
self-interest, but it's not impossible because as much as I may shit on the founding fathers, as on the founding fathers and their intended plan, and as much as a lot of those people were pieces of shit, George Washington did do the most important selfless thing that any person could do at the time. It's a newly built nation stepping away from the crown of a monarchy, and you have 13 new established colonies, which, by the way, it's not like they won out of brute force. The monarchy was pretty much like, fuck them, like just leave them alone, because they had their hands everywhere. But he looked at that and he said, I'm only going to serve 2 terms.
Yeah.
When he could have essentially made himself a dictator.
Yeah.
It would have been easy because they all loved him. They all
let him.
revered him.
Yeah.
He was a war hero.
Yeah.
They would have let him be president for as long as he wanted.
Yeah.
Right? So the fact that he said, no, there has to be a way, the fact that he had the foresight to say there has to be a way for the person that's in charge to not get corrupted by this position. So you have to have a limit on this. Or you have to willingly step down for the sake of the people, is something that is historically, at the time, unprecedented.
Yeah.
And if that can happen, and there could be this first domino effect that can create the best nation in the world, I think that there are enough people here that know about it.
What a lot of other nations have now done, have found success in.
When you really think about it, it is because of that act specifically that we have a lot of our ways. Whenever we think about public service in that way, it's because of that. It's because of that
the pioneering moment.
Act, right? Most people in other countries, when they think about politics, it is a lifetime appointment. Yeah. It is a lifetime career.
Yeah.
People are just politicians or businessmen. The idea of being in the public service sector is a uniquely American thing that started with that specific idea. It grew out of that idea.
Because everywhere else,
I have to be of service, and that eventually you will age out of my service.
Yeah.
Because I will no longer be able to serve you right, because there is going to be new needs and new people and new faces and new needs, and new ideas and new ways to flourish that you will build.
Yeah.
The fact that happened from the very beginning of our inception, which is, again, I don't think people understand how unprecedented that was. And I don't like the man, but that is G'd up.
Yeah.
I think that
you gotta give credit where credit is due.
There are enough people here in this country that I believe genuinely want and understand that it is 100% possible. Yeah. And if I had to make a bet, I think, and this is not me being some sort of woke whatever, I think that it will be a woman. I think that the and my instinct for that is not because, again, it's not some woke like principle or ideology, but I think that over the past 2,000 500 years, we have only seen the remnants of a male-dominated structure.
Yeah.
And we have just since the suffrage movement, which is only about 60, 70 years strong, we have seen the power that the adding our counterparts into the conversation has done, and how much more we have benefited from it, that I think it is almost inevitable. It's almost poetic how the world at large really, really could benefit from a maternal structure as opposed to a brute force mentality.
I think we are entering into a new wave of that. We are seeing it in action in multiple countries where it's working like a motherfucker.
I mean, Claudia Sheinbaum is killing it, bro.
Mexico, no matter where people laid on that matter. First of all, in Mexico, there was going to be a female president no matter which side you ended up on, right? Yeah. But, you know, they got Claudia, right? So... But it's obvious, and you can see it working for the people. People are in America are like, yo, she got some good ideas. Like that's
killing it.
That's nice that you're doing that.
I think there's some people in Mexico that still don't like her. There's still a lot of problems, but
yeah, of course. But the thing is, at the end of the day, like I think there is a wave, and there's multiple different countries that are also kind of falling into that. And now, obviously, a lot of countries that are much smaller than ours because they have a lot less people, but they have the ability, different needs. Here in America, I do think that it will take a woman, a strong, very strong-willed woman.
Yeah. And mind you, I'm not even saying that it's here in America. I mean, in general, for the world, I think it's going to take a maternal structure or maternal energy, whatever, however you want to describe it, as a driving force in the new wave of progress.
Of
I don't even mean people, of progress in general. Whether it's in business, whether it's in business fusing with politics, whether it's the redistribution of world resources.
A special thing that, and again, I don't knock on the attributes and the strong attributes that men have brought to the table.
Yeah, for sure.
Because we lived in societies that were not as modern as they are now, obviously not as advanced as they are now, both, and in every aspect of the word advanced in our society at the moment, including the TVs and everything that we stand on, right?
Yeah.
Even going to space. But like, it's stuff like that where you have to be understanding of the fact that men had a very strong, the attributes that they've brought to it, that the stuff that they've brought to the table that have pushed us this far were very important. Despite the fact that there was a lot of moments in history, multiple moments in history where women were getting the really shit end of the stick on all of it, right? Facts. And it's been known for centuries at this point. But the reality of it is that while you can accept and acknowledge it and revere what they've done, there is an understanding, and I think it's happening a lot more now with this new age of social media, where the world is so interconnected now that you have evidence and you can see it in action being done everywhere else, that our nation is pushing itself into the, like how I like to say it is, it's pushed itself so far right now. It's gonna bounce back, and it's gonna bounce back in a way that is going to be so, like, not far left, but so far into the opposite of what's happening right now, because it's usually how it happens. It's usually like and that's how the pendulum swings. There's no way for it to stop.
I'll make it poetic, so this could be the end of the podcast, but men built a house, and they worked hard at it, and they deserve recognition for building the house, metaphorically speaking. But now men are fighting inside the house, and it doesn't matter how hard you fight to take control of the house. At some point, the more you fight, the more you keep breaking shit inside.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So you built it, but now you're being destructive inside of it, and you will burn it down.
Yeah,
and it's gonna take somebody to say, stop fighting. This is how you maintain a home.
Yes.
And the only people that
historically have
metaphorically speaking know how to do that is our counterparts.
Yeah.
It's not that we don't know how to maintain a home, historically speaking.
Yeah.
To stay in line with traditional values, we know how to build a house. We don't know how to make a home. And that's where that's the conversation that we're having on a society level. How do we make a good home?
Yeah.
How do we take care of people?
Yeah.
How do we make people survive? And how do we show the world that it says something about us, that we take care of our homeless people, that we take care of our elderly people, that we take care of our people on a health level, that we make sure that we take into consideration illnesses and mental illnesses and people having psychotic breaks. And how do we show that on a societal level we have empathy for people who, like, again, metaphorically speaking, we know how, the men know how to build a house, the women know how to make a home. And we, on a societal level, we need to know what it feels like to be inside a home and have a well decorated, highly thought about, clean, like, you know what I'm saying? That's the best way to put it. And that's why I think that if there's going to be a driving force, I'm not saying it's going to be one person. I'm saying if there's going to be a driving force, it's going to be with that energy. I think women are going to be the driving force into guiding that structure. I'm not even saying that there's not going to be men that are significant. Bernie Sanders has been significant in that progress. I'm not saying that men are not going to be part of this conversation. But I'm saying that the energy overall has to shift into a more homemaking mentality as opposed to house building mentality.
To finish off my thought in our
there's a reason why a construction company will only show you drone shots of the framework going up and this and that, but it's the interior designers that will show you how beautiful it can be. You know what I'm saying?
To finish off my thought on this and to finish off the pod is, I think that in this stand and in this movement that we are leaning towards, it is taking exceptional men who are in tune with this knowledge, in tune with the fact that they want to build a home for our nation, that are allowing themselves to be vulnerable in this state and understand that their time, theoretically and in metaphorically speaking,
to learn different things,
passed.
Or to learn different things.
It has passed, and they are willing to stand behind the women that are going to reunite the nation that has been torn apart by other men, because they are aware that they might be a byproduct of those other men
or privileged by it,
but they are not those other men. And they want to make a difference.
Correct.
They want to be a moving force with that, and I think it takes a great amount of empathy, and I think it's humility, and I think it's taking a lot of really exceptional men. And I say that as a woman who's all girl power and everything all the time, but it has to be both things. It has to be two.
Yeah.
You have to have yin and the yang, right? As it's always been said, right? And I think that you have to be okay with that. And I think it's happening right now. So I think you're right. Yeah. I think it'll happen eventually.
Well, we'll see. On that note, thanks for tuning in. Another episode in the works. We are 100% self-funded. I say this all the time. So please like, share, subscribe. It helps out a ton. It helps us get more episodes. It helps us get more equipment. It helps us be able to take this into other spaces and have other meaningful conversations that we think that you guys will enjoy. So please like, share, subscribe in advance. And until next time, Degenerates. See you guys later. Peace.